The global geopolitical landscape has just shifted in a way that directly impacts every home in Nigeria. And if you have been following the news this January 2026, you know that the America First doctrine has officially arrived on our shores with a level of intensity we have never seen before. We are tracking a massive, high-stakes development out of Washington, D.C., where President Donald Trump has made good on his fiery campaign promises and recent social media threats to intervene directly in the security crisis rocking the giant of Africa. This is not just a standard diplomatic visit or a routine handshake in the corridors of power. We are talking about a high-level delegation led by the U.S. Undersecretary of State for Political Affairs, Allison Hooker, who has just touched down in Abuja to spearhead a newly inaugurated U.S.-Nigeria joint working group. This mission is focused on one thing and one thing only: the total eradication of the banditry and terrorism that has turned the northern and middle belt regions into a theater of war. The atmosphere in the capital is heavy with the weight of this visit because it comes at a time when the relationship between Washington and Abuja is at a boiling point. Just weeks ago, on Christmas Day 2025, the world watched in shock as the U.S. military launched precision drone strikes in northwest Nigeria, an event that signaled the end of the wait-and-see approach and the beginning of a vicious and sweet era of American military involvement. This high-powered American team, which includes veteran security experts and top-tier diplomats, is currently locked in marathon sessions with Nigeria's National Security Advisor, Madam Nuhu Ribadu, at the ONSA headquarters in Abuja. You have to understand that this isn't the usual diplomatic thoughts and prayers meeting where officials drink tea and issue vague communiques. The Trump administration has been incredibly vocal about their reasons for being here, specifically pointing to what they have labeled as Christian genocide in Nigeria. In fact, they have officially redesignated Nigeria as a country of particular concern, a move that carries heavy diplomatic weight and the threat of severe sanctions if the violence does not stop immediately. The urgency of this visit was punctuated just days ago by a horrific security failure in Kaduna State, where over 160 worshippers were snatched from 3 different churches during a Sunday service. This is the reality on the ground in January 2026, and it is the reason why the Americans have decided to stop talking and start acting. While the Nigerian government, led by Information Minister Mohammed Idris and NSA Madam Nuhu Ribadu, has been working hard to push back against the genocide narrative, insisting that the violence affects Nigerians of all faiths and ethnic backgrounds, the sheer scale of the kidnapping industry has made it impossible to refuse this high-level American help. Before we dive even deeper into the secret details of what this delegation is bringing to the table, I want to pause and ask for your input on this. Do you think that bringing in the Americans is the only way to finally stop these bandits? Or do you feel that our sovereignty is slowly being eroded? If you're as invested in the safety of our country as I am, please do me a huge favor and smash that like button right now. It is the only way we can bypass the algorithms and make sure this critical news reaches every Nigerian from Port Harcourt to Maiduguri. And if you haven't joined our family yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a beat. We are working around the clock in 2026 to bring you the stories that the big media houses are too afraid to touch, and your support is what keeps us going. The cooperation we are seeing this week is truly unprecedented in the history of Nigeria-US relations. We are receiving confirmed reports that the Trump administration has already authorized the delivery of critical military assets worth millions of dollars. We aren't just talking about basic rifles and uniforms. We're talking about sophisticated surveillance drones, advanced communication jamming technology, and real-time satellite intelligence that can see right through the thickest forest canopies where the bandits hide their victims. The U.S. has even approved a massive $413 million budget for counter-insurgency operations in West Africa for the 2026 fiscal year, with Nigeria being a primary focus. This isn't just a donation, it is a strategic investment in regional stability. The American delegation is reportedly bringing in forensic financial experts who are trained to follow the money. They are looking to investigate the shadowy links between banditry and illegal mining in the north, aiming to bankrupt these criminal gangs before the military even fires a shot. The plan is to choke their supply lines, freeze their bank accounts, and expose the high-ranking individuals who might be profiting from this chaos. But let's talk about the catch, because in politics, nothing is ever truly free. President Trump has been very clear on his Truth Social platform, warning that if the killings and abductions do not stop, the Christmas Day strikes will be just the beginning. He has hinted at many time strikes, suggesting that the U.S. is prepared to act unilaterally if they feel the Nigerian military is not being aggressive enough. This has placed President Bola Tinubu and his security chiefs in an incredibly tight spot. On one hand, they need the American technology and the $413 million in funding to fight a war that is draining the national treasury. On the other hand, they have to maintain the pride and sovereignty of the Nigerian armed forces. NSA Madam Nuhu Ribadu has emphasized that this partnership is grounded in trust and candor, but you can feel the tension in the air. The Americans are here to ensure accountability, which is a diplomatic way of saying they want to see results, and they want to see them now. They are pushing for better protection of civilian populations, especially in the Middle Belt, and they have even offered humanitarian aid and technical support for early warning mechanisms to prevent attacks before they happen. The human cost of this delay is what truly breaks the heart. While the Undersecretary and the NSC are discussing non-binding cooperation frameworks in Abuja, the families of the 163 kidnapped victims in Kaduna State are living through a waking nightmare. For them, every hour that passes without a rescue is an eternity of terror. They don't care about the diplomatic nuances of a country of particular concern. They just want to know if these American drones and high-level delegations can actually find their fathers, mothers, and children. The hope is that this new joint working group will move past the paperwork and authorize immediate coordinated rescue missions. We're hearing that the U.S. is already providing enhanced intelligence support to help our troops navigate the difficult terrain of the Northwest. There's even talk of recruitment. Nigeria has recently approved the hiring of 20,000 additional police officers to bolster internal security, a move that the U.S. delegation has openly praised as a step in the right direction. As we look towards the end of this week, the pressure on the Nigerian state is at an all-time high. The visit of Allison Hooker and her team is a clear signal that the world is no longer willing to look away from the insecurity in Nigeria. The Trump administration's vicious and sweet approach, vicious against the terrorists and sweet towards the victims, is now the official policy. We are entering a phase where the fight against banditry is no longer just a local issue, it is a global priority with the world superpower sitting at the head of the table. This could be the breakthrough we have all been praying for, or it could be the start of a much more complicated international conflict on our soil. I want to hear from you. Do you think that bringing in the Americans is the only way to finally stop these bandits? Or do you feel that our sovereignty is slowly being eroded? Please, drop your comments below. We read every single one of them because your voice is what matters in this democracy. And as you share your thoughts, remember to like the video and subscribe so you can stay updated as we follow these delegations' every move. We'll be here to bring you the facts, the gist, and the truth as it happens in real time. Stay safe, stay vigilant, and let's keep our eyes on the horizon for a more secure Nigeria.